There's been a high-profile accident in Italy. A super yacht sunk off Sicily. The WION was one of the world's largest sailing super yachts built. It was sailing under the British flag. It is believed that the yacht was caught in a waterspout, which is a form of a tornado. It was hit by strong winds, and that's why it sank. Eyewitnesses say the yacht went flat with its mast on the water, and then it went down. There were 22 people on board, 12 passengers, 10 crew members. One person has died, 15 have been rescued. The youngest survivor is just 1 year old. She is currently at a hospital along with her mother.
They spent a relatively quiet night. The child slept, and I found the parents somewhat relieved this morning. Clearly, their physical sufferings are a few wounds, a few excoriations, so the medication is no big deal. The sorrow of knowing that they lost their fellow travelers is very big for them.
6 people remain missing. Among them is a man named Mike Lynch. He is known as the British Bill Gates. Lynch is 59 years old. He was in the headlines recently over a high-profile fraud case. Lynch was aboard the super yacht with his wife, Angela Baccaris. She is 57 years old and she has been rescued. Baccaris says that she and her husband were awoken at 4 a.m. by the boat tilting, and half an hour later the super yacht sank. Also on the yacht with them was their 18-year-old daughter. Hannah Lynch had just secured her place at the Oxford University and she was celebrating with her parents. Also aboard this yacht was Jonathan Bloomer, the chairman of Morgan Stanley International. Bloomer remains missing. A lawyer at Clifford Chance, who represented Lynch in a trial that recently concluded, remains missing. Specialist divers have arrived at the disaster site, but the task before them is not easy.
The difficulties of the case are dictated by the depth that does not allow for long working times. So you understand well that the conditions of the hull are tilted 90 degrees and access to the hull is difficult. If you manage to get inside the hull, you understand well that inside there is a world of objects, so penetrating inside and descending into the compartment below from the stairs that are narrow and going into all the cabins is a really hard and difficult job.
Now the question being asked is, did the boat sink because of its size? Normally, accidents involving yachts include a fire on board, collision, or people falling overboard. But how often does a super yacht sink because of bad weather? So did it sink because of the size? The WION was anchored at the time it sank. It was hit by winds and the super yacht had a lot of surface area exposed to the wind. This yacht had the world's tallest aluminium mast. It was 72 meters tall. Here's a file footage of that yacht. And this is the yacht the night before it sank. An eyewitness said the boat was all lit up, but around 4:30 a.m. it suddenly disappeared. Analysts believe the combination of wind and the yacht's tall mast could have triggered the disaster. Was the super yacht not equipped to handle strong winds? It was built to high safety standards. Reports say that it had all the communication systems and emergency gear like life vests in place. So what really happened? To stay up to speed with the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.